I'm going to share the match idea that some in WWE would prefer for CM Punk and WrestleMania 41, and why it's not as crazy to think that it could happen. If you think WWE wouldn't change WrestleMania 41 plans for CM Punk, you would be wrong, and there is an interesting hope going around within WWE that they would do so. Now, the card for WrestleMania 41 is coming along. This past week on Monday Night Raw, we got the very first match confirmed. It's going to be Jey Uso challenging Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this comes after Jey Uso. He outlasted the likes of CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and even John Cena, last eliminating John Cena in that match. Now, it was very clear coming out of the Royal Rumble where they were going. John Cena was going to go and work the Elimination Chamber match, likely win that, and then go on to WrestleMania 41 to challenge Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. Then you had the CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins debacle because they were all eliminated at the exact same time, or at least within the few seconds of each other. And after the match, it was Rollins attacking Roman Reigns, hitting him with two brutal curb stomps on the outside floor, and then getting into it with Punk. Now, Punk and Seth Rollins, they had been feuding for quite some time. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, they will always be tied together. That is pretty clear, cut, and dry. As we go into WrestleMania, here are your top big matches, or at least that's the initial belief. So it's Jey Uso Jey Uso going after Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. It's Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk in a triple threat. And it is Cody Rhodes defending the undisputed WWE Championship against John Cena, with the idea being that John Cena will most likely, or most people would agree, would probably beat Cody Rhodes to win the undisputed WWE Championship, breaking the world title record that he is currently tied with Ric Flair at number 16 and hitting number 17. Right? I think everybody would agree with that. And that's where things pick up. That's where things get interesting. Before we get into that, there's a little housekeeping that we need to do. Hit that like button, subscribe button, and comment down below which match you are looking forward to the most at WrestleMania. Now, back to the video. On a recent edition of Sportskeeda's Backstage Pass Q&A, WrestleVotes reported that there are some within WWE who would rather see Punk inserted into the Cody Rhodes versus John Cena match for the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania 40 and make it a triple threat instead of a planned triple threat match with Punk versus Rollins versus Roman Reigns. This is what WrestleVotes had to say. I don't know if it's been discussed in an official capacity, but I do know there are people there that would rather that match, meaning Rhodes, Cena, Punk, than Reigns versus Punk versus Rollins, if that matters at all. I don't know, but I do know that there are some people that would prefer that. Interesting, right? Interesting. How would it be that they go about this? That's an interesting thing. I think it's pretty likely that we're going to get Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. I cannot see them inserting Punk here. Is it out of the realm of possibility that they would blow up WrestleMania plans for CM Punk? Not at all. I think it's very clear Punk's going to be in the match. Cena's going to be in the Elimination Chamber match as well. You could have it where they go to a draw. They both get knocked out. It's a double pin. Either way, there's not a clear-cut winner, even if it's in an Elimination Chamber. We've seen a Hell in a Cell match get stopped. So crazier things have happened. And then that would lead to a triple threat. Like, that's how they would get to it. So it's not as crazy as you may think it is. It really, really isn't. Would I prefer them not to do that? Would I prefer for it to be Punk versus Rollins versus Reigns at WrestleMania, and then you get John Cena versus Cody Rhodes? Yes. Because as big as Rollins versus Reigns is, I would say that you also have been there, done that, saw that. You might as well add a little flair to it, add Punk to it, right? He has built-in feud with Rollins. He has a built-in feud with Roman dating back to last year, him helping out Paul Heyman, him joining the OG bloodline and going up against the new bloodline. There's a lot of history there, right? There's also a lot of history that Punk has with Cena. I think most people would agree if you're going to do Punk versus Roman or have a match with Punk and Roman, you would prefer that match to be a singles match. You would prefer that match to be a WrestleMania main event. You would prefer that match to have a proper build. So that would kind of water it down a little bit whenever they get to Punk versus Reigns. But at the same time, from a content perspective, as a fan perspective, I would rather have 3 major matches. I would rather see Jay versus Gunther. I'd rather see Cody versus Cena, and I'd rather have Punk versus Roman versus Reigns. It is crazy. It is very unlikely, but it is not out of the realm of possibility. Let's piggyback to something. Let's talk about the history. Let's talk about CM Punk versus John Cena. They have a storied history in WWE. It's a marked, intense rivalry with unforgettable matches. Let's break down some of the big moments. Their early encounters, their paths crossed in 2009 with matches on Raw, including a Slammy Award Tournament semifinal bout. In 2010, they had a notable non-title match on Monday Night Raw, where CM Punk received a significant portion of the fan votes to challenge John Cena at the time. Of course, you can never forget 2011, the summer of Punk. This period cemented their rivalry as legendary, as CM Punk had his infamous pipe bomb promo that blurred the lines between reality and storyline, elevating his status and setting the stage for a classic feud with Cena. At Money in the Bank 2011, Punk defeated John Cena in a critically acclaimed match to win the WWE Championship, famously leaving the arena with a title as his contract was quote-unquote expiring. They had signed the deal before the match, obviously. The rivalry continued with a rematch at SummerSlam that snapped Summer of Punk short, where Punk retained the championship in a controversial finish. Now, they had other matches as well. They faced each other in numerous times and in numerous matches throughout 2011-2012, including title matches at Night of Champions and Hell in a Cell. Raw 1000, Cena cashed in Money in the Bank on Punk, but the match ended in a DQ due to outside interference. They also competed in a triple threat match at Survivor Series 2012, where Punk retained the WWE Championship. Now, despite their on-screen animosity, Cena and Punk have always maintained mutual respect for each other. Punk has acknowledged Cena's contributions to his career, and Cena has praised Punk's talents and popularity. Most recently, in 2024, both Cena and Punk, they were in WWE once again. Obviously, Punk returning in 2023, and Cena coming back from his Hollywood commitments. Punk has also expressed interest in having one more match with Cena before Cena's eventual retirement, which is going to be taking place in 2025. We are going to get to see them mix it up one more time, at least at the Elimination Chamber. Their rivalry often explored the clash between Cena's established face of WWE persona and Punk's rebellious and anti-establishment character. Their matches were known for high-quality storytelling and intense competition. The feud was instrumental in elevating CM Punk to a main event status and solidifying his place as a top star in WWE. CM Punk and John Cena's history is a significant chapter in the history of WWE, and modern WWE at that. Their interactions continue to be a source of excitement